Maybe they upped their wings or something. Well, we're waiting for the last drivers, and now we're waiting for the start of the race. Can Copy get a good launch in the slippery Suzuka as we get the 5 red lights? And we go green in Suzuka in the rain. And the question is Copy gonna get a good start? Compared to Jensen, it's a decent one, but it's not looking good enough. Julian's already announced that he's had some very great starts recently, but this time it looks like he's kind of out of luck as he's on the outside of Copy. Now Copy will be able to squeeze him a little bit, and he does so by squeezing him off track. Almost even they're going to run side by side into the S section. Jensen half goes off track, so Copy maybe now on the attack. Pretorius and Gary drop positions, and Julian is not quite done with Copy. He gets some really, really good traction out of that corner. Now he's alongside his championship rival. He's going to put it down the inside through Dunlop, and they're going to run up the hill sideways as Julian. And that must have cost some time, so Copy's still ahead. Next corner is going to be Dunlop, and it's going to be the inside. But Julian doesn't care. He keeps it ahead. Also, Triton has obviously lost the car, so that Williams is lacking one piece of his front wing. The other Williams has just dropped down a position to Icewind, and I'm running out of breath. Go on, Joel.
Yeah, so Icewind got past Wow on the start there. And who's this? This is Astro Boys down the inside of Danny Coe. Oh, they made contact, and he's sent spinning nearly into a half spin, and that's put Danny on the back foot going down into Spoon.
Danny!
Oh, you don't want to get on the grass there, especially in the wet. Hugo's trying to capitalise on that. He does, so he's made amends for his bad start. He's back up to P7 where he started. And who's this Popo looking on the inside of Pretorius? Is not going to make that work. But as we come through 130
wow, Vance, that was an almighty half spin there in the back.
And I think Popo's going to go for it down the inside of 130 on Pretorius. No, he backs out.
Yeah, that's
and Pretorius goes wide, so wide.
It's going to cost both of them time. Gary O'Connor on the back of them. I think that's his name. I'm not sure. But I'm reasonably confident. That's what I read. Anyway, Julian has passed Jensen. Where did that come from? Jensen was very well offline there, so maybe he's half spun over the...
Yeah, and Jensen's looking to come back down the inside into turn 1. This is very risky, and you can easily be sent off if your rival is not compliant, but this time he is. Julian is still trying to hang around the outside. He's using Jensen as like his side pod to lean on at the moment, and Jensen coming back through the inside. A wonderful move. Can Julian get the switch back? I think that's done for now. This lap, I think that move might be done.
I want to get one anyways. So now over
Hugo's
the bump,
5 seconds.
Over the bump, and Jensen gets it very wrong, and I think that's potentially what happened last lap. And now we're going to get a run 2 for that. But actually Julian slots in behind for now. He's set the fastest lap, but he's not going to make the move stick here unless Jensen leaves the door open. He doesn't. Tried with a penalty, as he said. Hugo's also with a penalty. That's Julian.
His 1/10, he was gaining massively coming to
he goes wide! Jensen already with a penalty, and now he oh my god! He half spins Julian.
Nearly a spin. Did Julian force him into a penalty there? I don't know. But
well, by applying pressure for sure. So Julian now on the outside of Jensen for 1/3 yard. He's probably not aware of the penalty. He still thinks he needs to.
On Astro Boys into Spoon. He's going to go down the inside. Can he make this work?
And that
they
is
nearly
a
spin.
great move. Oh, they are still alongside though. I think he's cleared Astro though. Yeah, he's in the picture. I think especially with Daniels because in the dry you just throw it in and you're fine. But
is that a McLaren?
There's
Might be
just more nuance here. And, wow, Julian's actually lost.
Yeah, it's Justin. It's Justin's lost it.
Julian. Oh yeah, he's completely all across the track. But also while we weren't looking, Julian lost the position to Gary. So
virtual safety car.
Almost runs into Gary's back here.
Virtual safety.
A message to... Oh no! Julian,
oh wait, no, he's gone wide!
He half loses it, so Gary's still in.
That's to undo his work.
Yeah, now they're gonna run towards 130 yard. I think with the instant line Gary has, he's going to have an easier time than Julian here because it's hard to run side by side here in the wet. But Julian does it anyways. What a move! Gary was kind of slow there, and now maybe
Icewind, fastest lap. 2.7 the car.
That's a ghost. Don't do that. Don't exist. Stop existing, Justin. What are you doing? Man, it's kind of a compliment that I assume that I think Chief is about on an absolute monster ride.
Oh, that's close. NJJ nearly chopping him off.
Scruffy. The way to describe it. An accurate one in my opinion. mistake there. And he's sliding so much. Has he got a puncture? I think he's got a puncture. Icewind has got a puncture
Icewind
from the lead, and now his tires popped up.
left rear.
Left rear punch, and he's also gonna drop behind Julian, so Julian's gonna get more points from this. And maybe that was why Julian decided to stay out as long as he did, and that's probably also why Jens was sliding around. And now Jens and Hugos are actually fighting, so Hugos might come away with P2 from this. And
Trying to go down the inside.
Oh, really? Well, Iceland has gone off, and it's gonna be. Oh, he retires. Please don't drive on track car. Please don't turn into the racing line. Thank God. And that was such a good race. I was literally about to say that I think this might be a drive of the day performance, but then it all. I mean,
yeah.
the whole
He
set
had to go for it. If he pit, he would have been in the same fate as Icewind, which is wow.
Oh, Hugos last chance, and he absolutely sensed it, and Jensen goes very wide to defend that. They're running side by side, and maybe someone spins it. No, he doesn't. Hugos actually keeps it together, so Copy comes across to win the race and close the lead in the championship a little bit.
Julian, I think, might get P3. Yeah. I mean, he started what, P17? He's 16. So very close. Especially in the way, I can't speak now. In the rain.
I'm gonna check who we gave driver of the day to, because if it wasn't,
I think it was Julian last time, wasn't it? It was Julian last time.
It was Jensen. I was gonna.
Welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the Mexican Grand Prix. Situated 2,000 meters above sea level, the track is a mixture of other tracks on the F1 calendar, with long straights into 90-degree corners like Baku, beautiful S's like Coda, Suzuka and Silverstone, to a tight stadium section like Singapore and Monaco. 2 long DRS zones gives the drivers plenty of opportunities to mix things up. There's plenty of action on offer for the drivers and viewers. Let's have a hot lap of SLR driver Icewind. Yes, indeed, here we are on board the Mercedes with SLR driver Icewind as he's making his way down this extremely long straight, hugging that left side of the track, preparing himself for this first section of sequence of 3 corners, and one that's just after the 100-meter board on the brakes, and good use of the curbs here, and he's very aggressive over that turn 3 onto the DRS zone, as he's making his way now up to the next heavy braking zone just after the 100-meter boards. Nice and tidy on the brake, a little bit of curb again just to help the rotation of the car. Another sequence of 3 corners, and this corner here can seem like it takes forever for drivers, but Icewind makes short work of that. Just after the black box, a little dab on the brakes, 4th gear, maybe even 3rd, 5th gear for Icewind, as we are running through this beautiful sequence of S's. Easy to invalidate just here and here as well, not to run out too wide, keeping the car nicely under control. Good use of track here as the curb starts on the brakes. You can get a good bit of track there, it does let you away with it, and then into this beautiful hairpin. Just look at that audience looking down at you. What an amazing experience as we're coming around the final corner of Bottas. Good on the power, good exit to get across the line, and that is a 1 minute 13.8 and completes a lap of the Mexican Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Another time, another weekend, and we go racing again in SLR, or we go qualifying again, I should say. We are here at the Autodromo Hermano Rodriguez, I think, in Mexico City. And by we, you gave the big surprise away. I mean, myself and Mr. Joel. How you doing?
Hello there. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Obviously a bit bored with all this quarantine stuff, but I'm sure this race won't be boring. Speaking of boring race, we actually have the race is going to be intermediate conditions.
Yeah. Okay.
So so I don't think we're going to see anyone gambling on medium tyres. for quali, I mean. Still.
Popo, Ocean Tipsy, Bryce, Spence, and Gary.
Oh,
disagree.
okay, I've just seen that.
But yeah.
Oh, Tipsy on the hards. big brain there.
Big brain. So, I mean, I've been hating on wet races, like, at every point. I don't like wet races, I don't like driving them, I don't like watching them, but Suzuka, which, I mean, you just got a little bit of throwback, we played the highlights of the Suzuka race, and that was quite exciting, I've got to say. So, I believe that, well, maybe I was wrong, and I think Mexico can certainly deliver as well. Normally, I mean, it has some exciting racing to offer with its incredibly long straight. It's like kind of, it's kind of similar to the Baku, to how you drive at Baku, because it just has that super long straight where you have to actively do something wrong to like not be able to overtake. But in the rain, you actually have to work for it, but it's still long enough to still be an overtaking opportunity. It's not like other tracks with shorter straights where you just can't overtake anymore in the rain because you need the DRS. I think this is different, so I think this is not the worst track for it to run on.
No, I think Japan was one of those tracks you're describing. To be honest, I mean, even the dry is very difficult to overtake at Japan.
It's true.
So I
just met the
think,
dusted, I guess.
yeah. So I think this race might be even better, maybe. And it's intermediate conditions, so you will see the drivers pushing a bit more. I don't know if it's going to change during the race, but that's what I've been told it does. And for once, Icewind does his first lap on the soft.
Wait. No. Wait. But that means he only has one more set of softs because there's no way Icewind did not take harder. He wouldn't be Icewind. I mean, I guess. Well, so for now we've got WoW on a provisional pole position, which is a 14.1, which is a really good lap. Danico, decent time behind him, 14.5. Jensen, 14.6. Icewind, 14.6 as well. And then comes Julian, someone who has something to... I mean, he's got work to do today, because his championship rival, Copy, is not here. Julian has had 2 DNSs in this season so far, and today Copy takes his, I believe, first one, so he'll be allowed to try and strike back. Triton 14.7.
It's a good lap from Triton. Jensen's on a lap now, coming through the very difficult S's section. It's extremely easy to lose your car on the exit there. As we come down under the Fanatec bridge, you can run wide on the exit, it won't penalise you. As you can see, Jensen went all 4 wheels off track, and that's perfectly fine. Short shifting up to second, to third. You can use the curb on the entry there, and all the curb on the exit if you need to, keeping it tight across the line. What's it going to be? Is he going to improve?
Yeah,
he's going to improve by just half a tenth.
Yeah, but and it is not enough for Danny. Like 2,000ths of a second, so that's quite annoying, I would say. Wow said he's practiced a lot, and I think it's showing. He's looking really good up there on provisional pole. I know that Icewind's TT time, and I mean, of course I know that because I showed you my slipstream, by the way. Yeah, we showed you the hot lap, commentated over by Tipsy Bob, that Icewind did, and that's a TT lap, and it's a... oh, wow! It's a 13.8, I believe, is what he did in TT. Of course, TT and TT is not quite the real thing, so you can't just go off that and just take it for granted, but... oh, bounce for tires, okay. You can't just go off that and say he's going to do that lap, but I imagine he's got more time in that than a 14.6, and I think we should watch him, because... I mean, last week was quite a heartbreak. Oh my god, bounces it. I can't. Did he actually lose his tire?
He span on the exit at the final corner here.
Did he actually lose his tire, or did he just retire?
No, because if he retired, then it would have moved the game would have moved the car into the pit lane, so onto a safe position. Yeah.
Nice.
Because I was riding on board, he was on a hot lap and he was in medium ERS, so maybe that's the issue with his controller's not working properly today, apparently. Not controller, wheel.
Yeah, he doesn't have a D-pad,
controller.
So... Wait, he did the 15.2 on... What? Okay then.
Even I can beat that. I mean,
well,
I can beat Astro at the moment.
Yeah, so can I, but... We're not going to talk about hypothetical. I did a
No.
0.3 in practice! Anyways, that's exactly why we don't talk about that.
Icewind's starting his lap. Oh no, okay,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
validated.
Wait, Icewind hasn't done it? Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
I was watching him. I should have noticed that. Oh. So what does he do now? Yeah, he comes into the pits.
What's Triton doing? Okay, I think he's just letting some cars past. Anyway, if I didn't mention, we're here in Mexico. The track Hermanos Rodriguez is named after the Rodriguez brothers. Two brothers who both raced in Formula 1. Wow. That's where we go here, isn't it? Fine commentary.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just you gotta tell people things they didn't even know they wanted to know.
Right, so what will be good for copy here is if Julian's rivals, like, I don't know, Danny, Wow, Jensen, maybe Icewind as well, can finish ahead of Julian. It will minimise the gap in the championship, because who's ahead at the moment? I think it's very close, isn't it?
I think Julian is up by like 6 points after he didn't win last time. So Julian is put it in P2 now. He is 2/10 adrift of Wow, and so I don't know if there's going to be people beating him. Like judging from what the others were doing, it looked like they were gonna have troubles improving properly on their times. Triton after sector 1, dead even.
Gary improved by 1 second to go P5. I think the two Mercedes are on a lap also. As Astro's up by nearly 3/10. Oh, and he validated there on the exit. Yeah. Oh, Astro losing the car.
Oh, please get out of Tipsy's way.
Yeah.
At least that is Tipsy Bob approaching him, and Astrid does get out of the way. Oh, Tipsy gets it almost a little sideways. It's going to be the second sector split at the end of this part of the track, and obviously we're going to see an improvement. 1.6 seconds up on his hard's time, which is to be expected. Nice run on the curb there. Didn't invalidate, but still took a good amount of speed through there, and coming into the last corner. Big turn in, and he's gonna stay tight as well, and he improves from an 18.0 to a 15.5. So that puts him in P15. I believe the guy ahead of him, Fox, isn't he? I've not seen him
yeah. So the end of Triton's lap, he improved by 1.5 tenths to get ahead of Gary. So he's now taken that P5 back from Gary. What I noticed is the two Mercedes both invalidated, so they both came into the pits, and I think we're going to see them guys wait now towards the end of the session to get their last laps in. Although Icewind is on 1 now, coming through turn 2 and turn 3. You've got to take as much curb as you can without invalidating your lap, and on the exit as well. Also, it's very important to get on the power as early as you can. Coming through into the second sector, he's 3/10 up. This is a purple sector 1.
I'm sorry, I missed who you're talking about.
Icewind, sorry.
Oh, it was actually Icewind, yeah, okay.
This is coming through the, still the second sector. This is a very difficult SS. You don't want to touch this club slightly. You need to be very decisive. You're going to go over them completely. He's invalidated. And he was up by 3/10.
Oh no.
He will have time to come into the pits and go out again, though, which is good news. I don't know if he has any other sets, though.
Yeah, probably doesn't, but I mean...
Wow is about to finish his lap. He's going to come into the pits.
I mean, yes, I was going to say something about strategy, but it doesn't matter because we're all one-enters. So, there's that. And then it's not even a problem that I don't have a hotkey for the strategies.
Bryce goes P8.
Very good lap, 14.8. Good job from the American. Joel, you know I'm looking at this and I'm getting more and more depressed that I didn't set my lap in the actual 2 quality. would have put me P3, like 3,000s behind Julian. I'm genuinely sad. Well, I don't know. I believe tier 2 pole was like a 14.5 flat, so I think Pixel would have qualified it like also in P3 right now ahead of Danico, just as a comparison between the tiers, but he would have needed more than 3 tenths to get where WoW is currently.
So Popo, formerly known as Popo Game, but I think he's changed his name. He's coming through this double apex right-hander and into the S's. Yeah, so I was saying you need to be decisive about these curves. If you hit them a tiny amount, you're going to spin. You need to go over them completely. He's invalidated there again. It's very difficult. You got to carry as much speed. It's risk versus reward really in that section.
To be honest, I need to make a confession. I really like Mexico. I think it's a good track. I'm sorry.
Do you want a co-commentator?
I'm pretty sure, like I'm pretty sure last week or some time I actually bashed someone in commentary because they said they liked Mexico. And then I started driving and I actually had fun.
The two Mercedes are giving each other a tow down the back straight, and that's Pretorius up by 3 tenths then. So he's gonna look to not invalidate like Icewind and Popo did, as he comes through very nicely, trying to keep it clean on the exit as he does. You want to use all the entry track on the left here, go over on the curb as he does.
Half a second up. This is surely going to go in.
Oh, he's invalidated just there.
Has
on
he?
the exit. Yeah, the mini-map went red.
Oh, for me it didn't,
yeah.
so... Okay.
He's gone into 0 ERS.
That was surely going on the second front, on the second row of the grid. Well,
that would have been the 13.9 or 14 flat.
I think it would have been, well it was...
if he was a second up.
No, he wasn't a second up. He was half a second up.
Oh, okay. Well, his teammate's now gonna try. And that will be Ozone Astro Boys as he comes through the back straight opening. DRS is invalidated as well.
What?
Yeah. My minimap's going red, it's not on the stream, so yeah,
I don't know.
he has been validated.
It seems to be a theme that you see invalidations, I don't. But,
yeah, your minimap isn't going red when they invalidate, but Astro's is.
That is incredibly incredibly unlucky, to be honest.
He's still going to be doing the lap though. Well, he definitely invalidated there if he didn't earlier on.
I don't know. Now he did.
Oh, right, okay.
Good idea. Well, Jensen has put it in P4, but... Oh, Julian! Julian actually upsets the lap of WoW, and now WoW needs to step up. He's 14,000 of a second up, and now he's coming up to...
It's invalid.
It's invalid.
Yes.
So it's Julian on pole then, because Triton is not going to do another lap.
Unless Danico can do something.
It's true. I mean, he's been really good in qualifying. How far is he up? Is he up?
He was marginal. He was literally 0.06 up. So he needs to make this a brilliant final sector.
Imagine not being able to do a 0.3. So Danico comes across the line and it is P3.
Improves by 2 tenths. Yeah.
He's able to do 0.3.
Triton is on a lap, but he's not pushing.
He has. This is
JJ is invalidated as well, and Shaka is invalidated also. So that's your grid for the Mexican Grand Prix. Julian on pole with a 14 flat, WoW P2, and Danico P3.
Yeah.
Triton with a very good P4 there.
Yeah, Triton. It's kind of a surprise of the qualifying for me.
Yeah.
Like splitting the top boys between Jensen and Danny. I didn't expect him to go there, and this is really good to see. So if he can follow up on that pace with race pace, then he's got a good race ahead of himself, I'm sure.
So it was actually very close between the top two. It's not even a tenth between them. Yeah. Julian will want to take as much advantage as he can from Copy not being here, so he will obviously want to go for the win. When doesn't he go for the win? But Astro Boys is down in P13, Pretorius 11th. The Mercedes aren't doing particularly well, which we discussed last week, I think. Their trend is carrying on. Ocean Chief P15, Bounce 14th with that mistake. Tipsy Bob 17th. And, I mean, it is an advantage to be outside the top 10 here and get free tire choice, because... oh yes, but it's raining.
So, we're going to... I mean, this is going to be very interesting.
It looks quite light.
It's true, yeah, I was going to say this.
I wonder if it's going to dry up.
I don't know,
or
obviously,
get heavier.
how would I? But, I am, I don't know. So, can you do a one stop? Can you do a zero stop here in on the intermediates?
I don't think. I think the tire wear is too high for that. On a track where it's soft medium in the dry, it's difficult to do a zero stop. So I think this track's going to be definitely one stop, if not two. If it's inters all the way, yeah. Because I think it's going to be very difficult.
I don't think two stop is an option. Like, I don't think anyone who wants to be quick is going to do two stop. But
yeah.
But for, I mean, one stop is probably what everyone's going to do. So the strategy game, which is actually a fun aspect of Mexico, the fact that there is no clearly best strategy, is, I mean, completely out of the picture. Normally you have a splitting between two and one stop, which is something you don't see on the modern F1 calendar at all anymore. And that was quite fun, but we're not going to see today, as it is indeed raining on this track. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit less. There's not going to be any TRS. You only have the intermediates and rain tires to choose from, really, and it's going to. Oh, I mean, I think you can't. One of the two is going to be objectively superior. I wonder what how the start will go, because I mean, normally in Mexico you say that that the real pole position is P2, because the run to turn 1 isn't it actually the longest on the calendar from the start from the starting grid to turn 1?
Yeah, it is.
So you have enough time.
Yeah, and even if you have a bad start here, then it's exaggerated a lot more. Yeah, you'll lose many more positions from the same start you get here than, say, at Baku, for example. Yeah, because turn 1 is so far away.
Yeah, it's like getting a...
I mean, look on the mini-map where the start-finish line is. That's where the back of the grid is. So, it is a very long run. We're coming through the final sector then, so Julian, Wow and Danny. Can Wow do anything about Julian into turn 1 with a better start and in that optimal place of P2 getting the slipstream? We will have to find out. But here we go then, lining up for the grid. The Mexican Grand Prix round 18.
Exactly. Normally you can tuck in behind the slipstream. Straight is long enough that it will kick and you will actually have a better chance at the lead in turn 1. And the question is, can that also happen in the rain? Will Wow go down the inside on Julian, or is he going to have a problem? Maybe Danico can get into the picture. A bad start can ruin a lot, and starts of course harder to execute as there's a lot less grip, meaning less traction. You have to be more careful. So these are all factors that are going to play into this, and let's hope we're on for an exciting race as we see the lights coming on. And so 5 red lights and we go green in Mexico. And it looks like a good start from Danico. No, he goes to the side. I think Wow got actually a really good start compared to Julian. Wow's already ahead of him, so Triton up into P3. Danny actually had a horrid start, never mind that. He's dropping down the order. Jensen is already showing his nose on the inside for P3. Julian breaks really late into turn 1, and he actually regains the lead through that maneuver, and he's still clashing with Wow. Jensen got a good start. Julian preserves his lead after being down the order a little bit. Gary slipped up the order a little bit, and Danny and Triton fighting for P5. Didn't have the optimal starts, the two of them. Gary and Jensen were profiting. I think we just swapped around.
And Pretorius trying to get past Triton now as well. And then that means Icewind's going to have a look around the outside of Pretorius. The Mercedes looking to be on the offensive at the start of this race, but Icewind gets that move done. The next car in his sights is Triton, but the next car in the mirrors of Pretorius is Light Cruiser. He's been losing positions. He started 11th up to 8th, a good start from Pretorius, but he's looking to struggle in these early laps and get used to these conditions. Moves we've got further up the field. Have we got Danico on Gary is coming close, and Gary goes wide. Gary has gone wide at the exit of the turn, and Danny, is he going to make the move that Valtteri it was Verstappen, wasn't it?
Collision
and we have virtual safety car.
VC, there's a collision between Astro and Tipsy, and that has given them penalties. They're both lacking front wing, so that's not going to be able to be taken off, because certainly they will stop, especially with that wing damage. I don't know what caused that, but it's not good. Ban speeds in the pit lane. Bascadinho coming into the pits along with Vance, who, sets better in the pit lane. They're all staying for Inters. Up front, Wow, relatively close to Julian still, but of course the RS windows are a concept.
So Danny's still got that move done on Triton before the VSC was deployed. I was trying to say it was Verstappen, wasn't it, around the outside?
No. Was it Bottas,
of that
Bottas,
in the hairpin?
Bottas Verstappen absolutely centered, and then on the cutback Bottas hit him. So that didn't happen here, luckily. Well, I mean, tires can't puncture anyways, unless you ask Icewind.
Wow, Julian got a much better restart, do you not think, than Wow, because the gap's gone up to 1.2 now.
Yeah, it looks like that's true. And now. Look, going through the S's.
Yeah, Danico and Gary trying to get that move done as the same place as last lap. He goes wide again, but I think he's going to hold it, and he does.
Yeah, he shows that his start was just a little bit of a short-term issue. He still has the pace to challenge for the front, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. Next gap he has to close is the 1-2 Jensen. I believe that's like roughly 1 second, 1.5 seconds. And with the pace he is showing right now, I don't think he's going to be re-overtaken anytime soon. So he can put it, like, his eyes can stay peeled up ahead.
So NJJ, Max Spiltz and Popo looking to go into battle into turn 1. NJJ gets past Max, but will Max stick his nose in there? No, he won't. Popo. Yeah, Popo's the one who sticks his nose in. He's coming through turn 2 now. Goes around the outside of Max. It's a brilliant move from Popo there. But I think that move is conceded unless Max is going to get a good slipstream, and I don't think he's close enough.
Yeah, it was a nice move from Popo. He saw the two ahead fighting. For one moment, I thought he was going to make it through right in that.
Ocean Chief trying to go around the outside of Shaka. He will have the inside for the next turn.
Shaka's still there, and it looks like he's got the nose ahead. So now coming into this tight right-hand section, Shaka is still ahead of the Chief himself. So Triton, Triton looks like he's reasonably close to Gary, and I think he's quicker. Look at the gap that has developed between Gary and Triton. Gary goes super deep, and Triton also kind of deep. He holds the inside. Icewind sticks his nose in a little bit of contact. There's an absolute traffic jam developing in that left-hand hairpin. And wow, that's a really quick time from Julian.
Jensen and Wow, they're going to do battle into turn 1, and maybe it might be done before turn 1, because Jensen with the slipstream a few miles per hour more than Wow as we come down into the first corner here. The massive straight aiding Jensen to get up into that P2 position, and maybe Jensen can take the fight to Julian.
Yeah, I thought that it was gonna be Wow who will challenge Julian, but he's already kind of dropped the ball, and now Jensen coming from B5 on the grid, showing massive pace and actually getting himself ahead of the Renault. So that's going to be interesting how the gap between Jensen and Julian develops.
Icewind had a slide there, and Pretorius looking up the inside. I think he's going to get that done.
Oh,
He
Cruiser.
does. Now Light Cruiser having a look at Icewind, but he's going to be squeezed out on the exit of the corner there as Icewind is defending to keep his P8. He really wants to get up. He was in that train with Gary Triton, and now he's been overtaken by Pretorius. It's not going as planned for Icewind. He's got to keep his head down and keep putting in the laps. I'm sure it will come to him.
Goes very deep here, but he can actually not really get warnings for that, so that is fine. Just wonder if Light Cruiser is actually going to hunt after Icewind, or if Icewind will, before that, I mean, if Icewind can... Oh, Light Cruiser got really sideways there. What if Icewind can re-overtake Pretorius, but for now, it doesn't really look like he has got the pace for it. But we'll have to keep an eye on that to find out. Jensen Wild
The gap ahead now has come down. 2 point... Well, no, it's not actually. It's gone up. So 2.5. Astro Boy's looking to make his way back up through the field. His next target is the Williams of Fox. He'll be frustrated after that incident with Tipsy, so he needs to keep himself calm here and be wise with his moves. Who else is very close? Yeah, it's Icewind and Light Cruiser again. So yeah, Icewind looks like he can't really keep up with Pretorius at the moment. He seems to be dropping back a bit. But the gap between Jensen and Wow already is 8 tenths. So it looks like Jensen has better pace than Wow, although Julian is still pulling away.
Yeah, Julian showing an absolute masterclass here in the rain. He looks like he's... he looks like he's very comfortable in the rain. I am really impressed by that. In quali, it was really close between him and Wow, so I didn't expect the race to look this one-sided, but 6 laps into it, or 5 laps into it, it looks like Julian's got all the strings in his hands and just needs to play his cards right to win this race.
Goes wide there, and Astro Boy's looking to have the run. He's not going to be close enough this time, but we're coming through the final sector. Can Astro make his way back up to 18th as Fox runs wide?
Really
and you just get that position, yeah.
Yeah, so P18 for Astro Boys. Last season was...
It was another virtual safety car.
Another one of that.
Why is that?
I don't know. But
no one span or anything. Oh, it was Tipsy. He did span. He did spin. So Tipsy span, and he has no front wing.
Wow. So we've got 2 VSCs and no retirements. You don't see that very often, do you? It's interesting.
This is proving how difficult these conditions are, really. Because sometimes the intermediate conditions can be more difficult than the full wet because you don't know how much to push and you're trying to push more because it might be getting drier and then you make mistakes. But this has enabled Danny to be very close to Wow, actually. So maybe he can look to challenge for the podium where he originally started. See if he can get back up into position.
I mean, I think I agree with that statement. If you're on intermediates, you just never know how much you can push when you're in full wets. You just ask, how much can I push? And the answer is always no. So,
yeah.
Since he gets out of the way here pretty early to be lapped, I think he's won his first ever league race in a Mexico race. I think it was DMR Tier 2. This is looking very differently. Also, speaking of a contrast in Mexico, Astro Boys last season was fighting for wins here, for the win here. I think he actually finished out on track, but he didn't win because he had the timing bug. So we put time on his finishing time because he certainly went off track enough. Quite a full fun races in P18, but maybe a safety car, and this time an actual safety car could shake things up and bring him back into a competitive position. Oh wow, already with a penalty. Lap 7, that's really early. And they are easy to get here. There's so much time to be gained by being close on the track limits. As you can see, every second we're right on board. People are trying to use the track limits to their max.
Okay, I don't think the stream's working.
Huh?
The stream's stopped now.
It has stopped.
Yeah, I've reloaded it because it wasn't loading back to where it was before, and it says an error occurred. Please try again later.
Welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos.
So, I think we are back now. Please give us feedback on that. I'm not sure what that was, but OBS just decided to kill itself, which, cool. Anyways, so...
We missed a 3 wide moment into turn 1.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Which is always what we want to miss, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, technical difficulties. I have never had that problem in all the years I've done streaming commentary. I have no clue what that was. But I think it is fixed now, so that is good. Let's scan for what we missed. I believe Triton has been overtaken by Gary, and
It's saying the same thing again.
The fuck's my internet doing? I've never had that
Oh,
problem.
okay. It seems like it's back up now. It keeps, like, jumping between stuff. And apparently now it's very laggy. I don't know if it might be the YouTube servers.
I doubt it, but I don't know. Well,
The stream is back up, yeah.
okay.
Apparently it's laggy, so I don't know.
I don't know. I never had so I'm just going to pretend that it's not my fault and move on with my life. So what have we missed? I think Travis is getting... Oh wait, he's been here all along. Bant's actually retired in the pits. Technical failure. He didn't...
Safety car,
Safety car, but he retired in the pits. No, he didn't.
No, it didn't.
That's the safety car I saw on the map. It's not a Ferrari. I'm blind. Well, that's certainly...
Well, that gives us some time to sort out the stream.
Well, yeah, but what should I do? Oh, shit.
If it came earlier, would have been nice. Yeah, the drive-through penalty.
So what should I do?
Julian Pitts. I think that's a good call.
I think I should just like...
Everyone's coming into the pits here.
Yeah, that is objectively the thing to do. Tipsy gets... Triton gets a penalty. Shaq FC got a drive-through for speeding in a pit lane, I believe. Maybe Tipsy got one too? No,
Right, so Light Cruiser stays out. I don't know what his deal is, but I don't think that's the right call.
I don't think that is right. He will take
Unless he knows that they can't make it to the end. But I doubt that. I think they can.
26 they will
Yeah.
make it to the end, but I think it's going to be a situation very, very reminiscent of a certain other race where someone in the wet pitted in an unusual situation, then it is tired, and had his tire head out on the final lap, leading to massive depression and everyone being sad. And that very specific event totally didn't happen last week in Japan. And maybe this is going to be a similar situation. La Cruiser doesn't want to be in the receiving end of it. He wants to be the one whose tires are alive. That's why he stays out. That's my guess. I don't know, though. And I don't think I would have gone for the same.
I mean, they're 10 lap hold, so literally everyone else pit apart from Shaka.
But Shaka actually did pit because he's better on the pit lane. Oh, no, but no.
No, because he had to drive through,
Oh, he's
so...
split on the safety car, never mind.
Yeah.
That is, of course, true. Well, he's going to have time to get his actual pit stop windows.
Yeah. But he's gonna... and Fox stayed out as well. I mean, this gives Light Cruiser track position, but I don't think it's worth it. Because he's gonna lose 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, especially because the first, 3 laps under safety... Or just the laps under safety car, 2 or 3 laps, whatever it might be, on the new tires, they don't really contribute anything, so you have to do only, 23 laps, and I think that's... I mean, you can do that, I'm sure.
Yeah. So this has made the race a bit more interesting.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I think you have to get the blinds done because I'm doing one.
I think Tipsy has disconnected. It looks like it, unless he's being lapped. Which I think he might be. Yeah.
He is lapped, yeah. As he drives through a red ball.
Yeah, trying to catch the train back up, but he's a lap down, so this safety car hasn't really benefited him.
Yeah, I think he has to stay at the end of the queue, which is
Yeah.
probably unfortunate.
Although it's really weird with the F1 game, because once I had the message that I could overtake the safety car and go through the whole pack,
Yeah,
and that happens very rarely, and I don't understand how they decide when it happens. It's a bit inconsistent.
Oh, Triton! Oh, he gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. How does that feel, Joel? Tell us.
Well,
I don't know.
you're under safety car, and you're like, oh, it's nearly the end of the race. Well, not in this case. And then you're like, well, I've got no penalties, so if I just stay with the pack, I might be here for a good result, maybe points. Oh, I was thinking about that, and whilst I was thinking about that, I was off track, and Astro just did the same thing.
That is terribly unlucky. We're going to get green flag racing at the end of this lap. Light Cruiser will lead the restart, and he will lead the pack on the start-finish straight. I don't think his strategy was right, but oh god, don't go into the traffic! He spins on restart! And I think he's
Did he
gonna
just
pit.
spin on his own?
Yes, he did!
He's forced to go into the pit lane now because of where he span. Well, I think it was a good idea anyway, but still, you shouldn't be spinning on the restart. Yeah, I didn't see that.
I was gonna say, I don't think his strategy call is right, but maybe I'm wrong, and he will prove that in the following laps. But then he didn't.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
So the yellow flag been set to 1. I think it was just Tipsy.
Why is Ocean in the pits? Did he have a drive-through or something?
Ocean is not in the pits. It's a Light Cruiser who was in the pits.
Ocean just left the pits.
Oh, did he? Okay. I don't know. I'm not
Jensen
sure.
really close to well.
Oh, Astro boys and Bascadinho. Astro sent it there on the McLaren. A bit of contact.
Oh. You can see he
Undercut.
He's trying to...
Oh, doesn't get the traction.
Yeah, gets the wiggle on the outside. It doesn't
He's
work.
desperate to get back past these cars. He thinks he has the right to be in the points, which on pace, I think he might do, but he has to be patient. It doesn't mean cars are just going to let him past.
Yeah, so after the restart, picture's looking very similar to how it did before. I was in trouble because he has that 3-second time penalty, and Jensen doesn't look like he can go the pace of Julian. I thought he was gonna spin there, but bad exit. Why are they? Oh,
Wow,
I think
coming
we've
into
got
the pits!
I think we've got a change in condition or something. Because there's no point. Why would they come to the pits?
It's still raining. Did they have a collision?
No, they didn't. No, Light Cruiser is still on.
They don't have they're serving drive-throughs. They didn't pit.
When did they get drive? I didn't see that.
They didn't pit. They're just getting drive-throughs. They did not change their tyres.
So, well, that means Danny is now second and Gary is in P3. Triton with his penalties P4, and Pretorius might have set himself up for a surprise because he's in P5. So he's gone through the order quite well, and that is, of course, completely thrown the two of them off.
Jensen got his drive-through penalty whilst catching the safety car under the Delta, and Wow the same. So we didn't see them come up.
Well, that makes sense. It doesn't. Anyways.
But because they're right next to each other, do you think it's something to do with like one slowing down and then having to speed up to get back past, or
I have
something with illegal overtake and then having to go over the Delta to avoid the illegal overtake penalty? I don't know. But from these two drivers, it's a rare mistake. So I don't think it's just a normal drive-through penalty speeding.
I think Danny's going to be happy about that because now he gets to be P2 and he gets to watch the Delta to Danny grow from lap to lap. But he also is rid of Jensen, who apparently was decent with him. At least that's what Jensen said, and I think that's usually a two-way affair. So one is decent.
Bryce in the pits as well. Let's see if he pits. Oh no, okay, I think he has damage. Yep. Right end. Oh no, he doesn't. Okay. He's not pitting either. Another drive-through.
The game is handing out drive-throughs. That's
imagine if everyone had a drive-through.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't understand this because it's just not normal.
Please tell me literally everyone has a drive-through. That would be
3
so
tier 1
fun.
drivers don't get drive-throughs.
It was actually 4 or 5. I think Ocean had one and Shaq had one too.
Doesn't make sense.
So it's a quarter of the grid.
Well, we'll find out this lap because this is the last lap to serve it. So see if anyone else comes in. But it's a very weird situation. Meanwhile, Pretorius is up to P5 because of all that from P11.
Oh, Danny, I saw that.
Oh.
And that's usually a spot where you can go off track, so I'm surprised that happened. But he was off track nonetheless, so that is unlucky. And he just doesn't have the pace Julian can offer right now. So Danico will struggle a little bit, but he's got Gary behind him, and Gary is a quick boy, but I don't think he's quite as quick as the others, so I think Danny is safe for the moment. Bascadillo, a little out of shape there. Astro Boy's on max spills, and I believe I saw that Astro, no, never mind, he's still got his front wing, he bumps into Max. He clearly was running low on grip there and got a little bit of a counter steer. Or got a little bit of a tank stop, so he had to counter steer, and that brought him right into the side pod of the Toro Rosso car, which hereby he has cleared, but Max Spiltz is not happy with that. He looks to the inside and he wants to get that position back. Astro's bumped him, and they come together again, and for some reason he doesn't spin. Jensen wants to get past it. This is he has to be very patient. He runs off track. Tipsy has retired, and Jensen has got Max Spiltz cleared. And now Wow has a Toro Rosso car between himself and Jensen. Someone he has similar pace to. Nice move from Wow into this tight twisty section, and he's got that done around the outside, but they get caught up here, and it's almost drama here, but everything goes fine. Wow has just lost a second to Jensen, but I'm sure he can close that up as soon as Jensen reaches Astro.
I just had flashbacks then to season 3 Australia, when you were like, Astro sticks his nose in and spins.
I don't remember that. But
remember, Australia was going through the fast right-hander before the penultimate corner with, I think it was Bascadinho.
I think, well, that sounds like something that would happen. Oh, I do remember. I do remember that because I had to FIA judge that. Truly, I do remember, yeah. How do you know these things?
Because I do the highlights, so it's just like,
Yeah.
I remember.
I never remember anything that ever happened.
Who's that going very close to the pit wall? That's Bascadinho trying to defend from Astro Boys and Jensen behind.
And Astro sticks his nose in and spins. Sorry, I just had to. Well, he is relatively close to Bascadinho. He has cleared the others, and I don't think he's been very patient about it. But how is Bascadinho going to do? He's been driving in Tier 1 for at least 2 seasons, I believe. So he is. I mean, we know he's got some pace, so I'm sure Astro can't just like send it on him and then say, well, I'm done with it. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. There's a train developing behind Triton once again. Or is it? It's behind Gary, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because Gary can't keep up with Danny, and Danny can't keep up with Julian. So the top 3 are spreading away, and I think this is all in Julian's hands unless he makes a bad mistake or there's another safety car.
This is quite reminiscent of Monaco, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's quite that dominant, but it's that he's pulling away and he's not looking at any risk of losing the lead.
Very true. Actually, Gary is in P2 right now. Oh, we're gonna see a move into turn 1 from Astro Boys, and I think this time he's waited for a good opportunity. Jensen shows his nose, but he can't do anything. There's a little bit of a touch between them, and Bascadinho sticks his nose in and almost spins Astro Boys.
There's Jensen's got prime opportunity now to get past Bascadinho. He opts for the outside. He's going to go for Astro as well.
Oh, really deep into that corner.
Oh, just about.
That's where he stays. It's a good move from him. He's pulled that off really well. And
Astro back into the point, starting P13, going down to P20, now back up to P10.
Yeah, safety car brought him back. He's going to say thank you to Banz after that race. I mean, he's not, but he could. Because
Triton! No! No, Triton! He went so deep into the corner, had to brake really early. Pretorius went right into him. He has no front wing. Icewind went into him also. And Popo. There's a chain reaction. Triton.
What?
Virtual safety car.
What happened? What?
Right, Triton locked up.
Oh, NJJ. Corner cutting. Gain a place.
Triton locked up and went like sliding through the corner. Pretorius went into him, so now Popo and Icewind are both in the pits to rectify their front wing damage. Pretorius will be also. Fox as well. It was like a 5-car pile-up.
Whose fault was that then?
It was Triton's, who didn't get any damage.
Oh,
Speaking of moves, we're gonna have Wow, who just got past Bascadinho into turn 1.
I've got epic DC between Danny and Gary. I think Danny might actually be disconnected. Where is he for you?
P2 still.
Huh? Okay, he's
P2.
in P18 for me.
Oh, Danny's in P18 for me.
Yeah, so he's decent. Nice. Well, we already knew he was decent for Jensen. So now he is for us as well. I want to mention that brings Astro into P5. That's quite incredible. And JJ also in a very strong P4.
Or P6.
Huh?
Theoretically. Because of Danny.
Yeah, I just don't know if Danny's going to weaken it properly.
So Triton basically just got dealt with all the cars behind him in his own way, basically. Locking up, giving them all wing damage, a massive pile-up. He comes out scot-free.
Does he? I think he's missing his right hand plate. And that car lagging through him there.
Yes, he is.
Danny. I think Danny might be disconnected. Actually,
Yeah, but I don't think he would already be down in P18 if he was disconnected.
Well, he wouldn't, but his car is currently here, so this is super weird. Popo's past max builds. Popo on fresh tires after that pit stop, and he goes for P9 here. Of course, he has to do a little bit of a recovery drive. From now on, I'll just pretend Danny doesn't exist, because otherwise I'm going to get completely confused. So, Yellow's...
Yeah, I think this lobby is glitched big time.
Yeah, it looks like it. A lot of yellows.
Full course yellows for nothing. Wimpy saying the top 3 all got drive-throughs for passing Light Cruiser when he spun. Tipsy saying he got a drive-through, served it, and then the game kept telling him to serve it again.
Cool.
Good game.
No, that's because he's...
Oh, Jensen span! Jensen has spun and he's lost those positions to Wow and Bascadinho. I just caught the tail end of that. I don't know if it was because of collision or it just a loss of traction, but that's not going to help Jensen.
Yeah, let's hope no one took him out. That would be a massive shame. But I mean, it's a shame nonetheless for the Dutchman who's now down in P8. I mean, Julian did not get a penalty for that. He did not get a drive-through, and Jensen Wow did, which was quite ridiculous in my opinion. But it's of course good for him because he needs those points in the championship. Running up front, and NJJ is getting closer and closer to Triton. He's driving an absolutely great race, NJJ.
Yeah, he just stayed out of all the incidents,
Triton,
really.
But Triton has got a 5-second penalty, so actually NJJ is in P3 here. If we
Yeah, Jensen goes wrong, very wrong. In turn 3, he has to cut the corner, and now Popo's got the run on in. Better traction since he was on the track and not on the grass, and he's looking to go around the outside. Looks to be an easy move. Yeah, he's done it before the braking zone. So Jensen is really losing out now because of that spin, making all kinds of mistakes.
It is a poor, or I mean, this is not going well for Jensen at all. He's got that drive-through, he's got penalties, he's spun and has been overtaken. So things are not looking great for him. He's been challenging early on in the race, but now looks like all was in vain. So that is unfortunate for him. And yeah, Wow is really close to Astro. I wonder if there's a move waiting to happen because they're both quick guys, but I think Wow is just that little bit quicker than Astro. And one good thing is that Astro's 140 setups can spin in the rain. Well, so Wow now goes to the inside of Astro. Boys, he needs to be careful on the brakes, and he is. So Astro gets to brake later, gets to keep his position. Wow cuts it really close on the second corner of this and gets a really good run onto the second straight. Astro weaving here because he is at a loss of traction, and they're going to head side by side into the next braking zone. Last time Astro won that, and this time he does again. Or it's Wow actually gets the cutback, and he's now on the inside, which will be the inside again for the double right hand. I doubt that Astro is going to carry the momentum here, but he still keeps it up, so we're still running side by side. We've been for an entire sector, but surely now Astro needs... Oh, Astro sticks his nose in, but doesn't spin. I'm overusing it now.
Meanwhile, Jensen pit again.
Oh, so he's down in P60 now. I think he just wants to reset and just drive to the flag. Max Spill's in a points-paying position ahead of the likes of Pretorius, like Icewind, Jensen. Well, Danico technically, but he's disconnected. So he's doing really well, and we've got a penalty for Astro, and I think I saw Jensen's name pop up as well. Wow has lost heaps of time. Where is he? What happened to Wow? He's lost 3 seconds on Astro.
There were yellow flags in sector 3. I think that might have been it.
Amazing.
Popo and Bascadinho going side by side on the straight. Icewind and Light Cruiser as well.
And Popo on Bascadinho. Bascadinho's still there, and there's going to be a chance in the next corner, but he can't take it. Popo's ahead. P7 for him. Icewind on Price Evolution, and there's contact! Icewind is getting shoved towards the edge of the track. Light Cruiser and Astro Boys, Pretorius wants a piece of the cake.
That was Light Cruiser. He went in the middle of Icewind and Price and squeezed them together. Icewind's going to get back though, but that was nearly a race-ending moment for all 3 cars involved.
I have a feeling Danico's internet officially given up the ghost. I don't know what happened to him.
He's still driving now. He's driving properly now. 2 laps down apparently. He's in the car. But no, Danny, I think if he was 2 laps down, yeah, that's not him driving. Look at the telemetry. I mean, if it is him driving, then I've got something to learn for sure.
Or maybe he has something to learn. I think Jensen has stopped giving a crap about track limits. He's just trying to go fast, and I think he might actually.
He's in the pits. He must have got damage from whatever he did to lose time. Yeah, they're replacing. No, they're not. They're not even. They're not replacing his front wing. So.
I
don't know.
No,
it doesn't look like he has damage.
Why would he put it? Why would he put it then?
I don't know. Overheated tyres.
I don't think that's a reason to lose 20 seconds. Jens actually sets the fastest lap on the race.
Jensen is gonna.
Bryce
Yeah.
Evolution and Icewind are fighting, and Bryce was completely squeezed up onto the curb there. Icewind gets out ahead.
So Wow and Jensen keep fighting each other on track, don't they? Yeah. No matter what happens.
Oh,
Light Cruiser and Bryce going side by side. Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. Is Bryce going to keep? Here, Pretorius is hanging back, watching this unfold. Light Cruiser keeps the position. With some nice braking there.
JJ has caught up to the back of Triton, and now Pretorius is going out on Bryce Evolution here. And, I think he's going to get him on the main straight unless he gets a terrible run. That was good enough, I believe. And now he's going to tuck into the slipstream of Bryce Evolution. Slipstream kicks in, move for P11 about to happen. Iceman has passed Max Pilz in the meantime. And Pretorius, I don't think Bryce can do anything about that. No, they're still kind of head-to-head in the braking zone.
Fighting loads. Yep, through turn 1, 2 and 3. Let's see who got the better exit. Looks like Icewind. Yeah, so Max is going to be on the inside. He's just going to stay that for now, which I think was the right call.
I think Icewind through is indeed not a shame. Icewind has got one thing going for him. That is the fact that he has 6 lap old tires, so whatever happened last time in Suzuka won't happen today, I'm sure.
NJJ is very close to his first podium! As he tries to go around the outside of Triton, who has that damage still, that end plate damage. So I think he's got to get him on this front straight. If Triton doesn't pit, he's going to lose so much time. He's been out for a long time with that damage, and I think NJJ is going to have him any time soon. I don't think he's ever got a podium in SLR, has he, NJJ?
I don't know. This would be a maiden podium. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it looks like it will. And
yeah, because Triton with that damage.
Gary's got a tier 1 podium so far. Damn, I wish I was driving in this race.
10 laps to go. Pretorius and Light Cruiser. Oh, it's nearly 3 wide into turn 1. Look at this, Max Spiltz, Pretorius and Light Cruiser. Pretorius trying to go down the outside of Max Spiltz after taking Light Cruiser on the straight. He's going to have the inside for turn 2, the outside for turn 3, and Light Cruiser's going to get past all of them, is he, with a wonderful switchback. He's got past both of them, yeah. That's some brilliant racing. We're going to see any dives. Yeah, Max has gone, Pretorius has gone as well. Max didn't quite make it. Pretorius round the outside.
Max drops out of the points, unfortunately for him.
It's a good move by Light Cruiser there, and I'm just wondering. It looks like it's drying up a little bit, but I don't think we're going to get to dry conditions. Not with 9 laps left. It wouldn't be worth pitting anyway, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And now Bryce is having a look at Max, and Wow's having a look at Bryce. So this train really is developing from P9 down to
I think on the main
P13.
straight we're getting NJJ versus Triton. This is a move for podium position, technically, but also Triton has got a penalty, and it is not happening yet. Down the order they are going through the stadium, and NJJ with another try, another straight, not quite as long as the first one, but I think he's closer than ever now to the first podium of his career. Astro Boys could still have something to say about that, but he needs to close in 4 seconds to do that. Pretorius really
Turn 1, Bryce on Max. He's gonna try and stick his nose in there. Max goes wide, and wow.
Wow, with an absolute send there, and I think that was obviously contact, but I don't think
this is playing into the hands of Ocean Chief, because he has no penalties, and meanwhile they're losing time. Look, Jensen on trying it on Fox as well, and Ocean! No, Jensen nearly spins there. That was risky. He broke too late. I didn't think he was intending to get the move done on Ocean as well.
Yeah, but sometimes you're put in weird positions as we're running into the S's, and it looks like Price Evolution still ahead of WoW. WoW's got a lot of penalties, so I don't think this matters. Jensen, another driver that will definitely drop due to penalties. At least to Fox, as now WoW gets a really good run compared to the terrible of Price Evolution. So Bryce drops down in position. Jensen lets Ocean Chief pass. Why was Jensen ahead of Ocean Chief anyways?
Ocean made a mistake.
Oh, Fox is squeezed off there, but he gets back onto the track, and now it's the next round between NJJ and Triton. NJJ looks like he is in trouble, and he will not know about Triton's 5-second penalty. Oh, Danico has lagged back into P2 for me.
So maybe this isn't a podium fight. Who knows?
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Danny is between Gary and he's right ahead of Danny.
That Gary's really close to Danny then, is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well. I think this is where we're actually at now.
Okay, so that is not a medium podium then for NJJ.
Unfortunately, but it's still a good drive, and I think Gary doesn't have a podium so far either.
Julian in the pit!
Julian in the pits.
Why is he doing that?
Maybe he's cocky and he sees that his tyres are gonna die and saw what happened to Iceman.
Right, this has to be Danny's chance for a first win, surely.
Yeah, it's just
if not now, then when? Because he's got Gary behind him, he's gonna hold up Julian. I don't see why Danny can't win if he keeps it clean.
I think the tyres are gonna die. Julian would not just give a win away like this. I think he is I think he knows very well what he's doing, and if that is true, then also Popa would be in a good position, and so would Iceman, because there's 3 drivers on 18-lap all tyres. Actually, with Danny and Gary, there's more of them, so I think we could get the whole field shaken up another time here, depending on what is going to happen. But for now, the gap between Julian and Gary is 4 seconds, and between Gary and Danny, it is 2. WoW is the quickest car on track right now, relatively fresh intermediates, but down in P12, so it won't matter.
No, I mean, if Gary can hold up Julian, it might be Danny's to lose at this rate, because 7 laps to go.
I think the tyres will
Danny is pulling away from Gary. I think it is possible.
I think the tyres will fade. That's my prediction. I don't think that this is gonna go. I don't know.
Well, he's got his chance now. This is it, isn't it, really? After all his pole positions. Let me have a look. Danny has a 3-second time penalty.
Oh no. Well then I don't think he has.
Julian has a 3-second time penalty as well.
Also not. I just don't see penalties there.
And Gary has no penalties.
So Gary's actually in the lead. Oh yeah. Pretorius and Light Cruiser, that is really close. We're going through the last corner. Light Cruiser spun here before, he was very close to doing it again. Astro Boys and Pope are actually fighting through the chicane, and looks like Popo's come out on top. Looking back at the other fight, there's a side-by-side move between WoW and Light Cruiser. WoW has had a terrible race, terribly unlucky with the drive-through, and his way through the field wasn't so fruitful so far. He's still in P12. Ocean Fox are fighting as well, as WoW goes for a move on Light Cruiser once again. The outside line, and this time he's well ahead, and I think this is it done. Yes, it is.
So Julian closing up onto the back of Gary. Yeah, so Gary is in the net lead right now. If he can just stay with the pack, if he can stay with Danny and Julian, once Julian inevitably gets past him, which he might do now actually, setting the fastest lap of the race as they come towards turn 1. Yeah, if Gary can stay with these two, he might be on for his first ever win, and which would be the same as his first ever podium actually. So into turn 1 they go. Julian is going to outbrake him. I don't think Gary is going to fight this all too much. He knows it's not his battle. Julian is on fresh tyres. He's going to slow Danny up ahead, so maybe he can gain something from this.
He's about to slip out of the 3-second window of Danico, I think. But he is still in, and as soon as a fight is going to arise, he is there to profit off of it. Jensen has made a position up at Bascadini. Bascadini has actually dropped a lot of places, and now he goes into the pits. So I think he's got a puncture, and his tyres were 19 laps old. I think he's got a puncture. He got very
Look, Julian's
oh,
taken the lead down the inside of Danny.
I'm sure Danny has a puncture as well, doesn't he? He's very slow. Yeah, that's left. Am I? No, no, he's going.
No, he doesn't have a puncture.
I
I think he's just really slow. I don't think he has a puncture.
I think he's driving like 80% tire where I don't have another explanation. I mean, tires are gonna start popping right now.
So maybe it was the right decision from Julian. We should never really doubt him.
I'm sure it was.
It looks like it's time for dries. So those who need to pit, they will go on to dries now. I'm almost certain of that.
I don't think so.
The dry line is there. It's not raining anymore, I think.
Yeah, but this game doesn't have physics. You can't forget that. Wait, Julian is behind. Julian has dropped the position to Danny again, and they... Okay, well...
It says Danny's disconnected if you go on board with Julian. And then Danny's just jumping ahead everywhere. He's desyncing me massively. And then now he's gone back down to P17, being 2 laps
down.
down.
Exist for the sake of commentary.
I don't know who's in the lead of the race though, do we?
I think it's Julian, but we don't have any proof for that. And I think the tyres are going to prove a big problem for everyone else. Light Cruiser's actually gone for the softs, and I can see if you were right. Well, I mean, you were right in... You will pit for softs, but I don't know if you were right in they are quick.
Yeah.
We'll see now.
No, I think this is... How it is now is... I think that's how it is. I think Julian hasn't passed Danny yet.
Yeah, this looks like it's synced itself in once again. Another penalty for WoW. I think he must be at least at 15 seconds.
They're equal on penalties. That, oh my goodness, this is so stressful. I mean,
Yellow's in second.
Look at this. So Danny in the pits.
Oh no, he's not.
Was that the AI or was that desync?
I think he slipped and had to recover his car. I don't know. Well, Iceland gets a penalty.
DRS should be enabled anytime soon. I think so. If this dry line is showing, it looks like it's ready for dry tyres.
I mean, the track looks dry, that's true. I don't know. I think it's going to be like 2 or 3 laps. Fox with a penalty. See, I can see that penalty. Popo's actually going for a move on Triton. Triton has an unserved penalty, and Popo's got tyres that are a lot better. Triton has been absent from the podium for a good amount of time.
Yeah, Gary pit for dries. Danny has the gap behind to pit for dries and come out ahead of Triton. I think he needs to. He's not going to win the race, and he's at risk of getting a puncture. I think it's the right strategy call to pit now.
Yeah, I think it might well be.
He's got the gap behind. And I don't know what happened to Gary there, because he must have lost loads of time. He's down in 8th now.
And I doubt that he's gonna go... Well, It depends. It all depends on what the tyres of Astro Boys, NJJ and Triton decide to do. But for now, Gary is painfully slow. A lot slower than Wow, who just breezed past him. So Gary was so close to getting a podium, and that strategy call might have cost him. Popo in a really good position.
Danny stays out.
Popo almost certainly on the podium here.
Yeah. So Triton stayed out for all these laps with this damage. Yeah. Unless Julian gets another penalty, this race is his.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is almost a done deal. He's made the right strategy call at every point. Well, he did pit for the first safety car, but he got away with it. So Lacruz was actually kind of right, but then he spun, and it all proved to be to be for nothing. NJJ is still behind Triton. He's not gotten past him all that time. I think he does need to get physically past, but he's still gotta try. Actually, both of them must drive on must be driving in eggshells. Astro has lost the position to Iceland. He's dropped massively. I think all of these are super close to getting punctures. I mean, they surely must be driving in puncture territory, unless I've seen that wrong in Bascadini introduction. We don't have a puncture, but then I don't know why you would have drifted into the pits. Like, I wouldn't pit and I wouldn't drift. And you're going kind of deep.
Yeah, Icewind on NJJ looking to make amends for his damage he got earlier. He's going to send it. He's going to have the inside for the next right-hander, and I think that's a done deal.
That's Max Kurtz, I believe. He was disconnected there. So Icewind on an absolute charge. I don't know about the penalty situation, but I think he's bound to get P4 in this. Sector 1, yellow flags. NJJ, yes, NJJ has dropped! Maybe we collided with Astro, I don't know, they were really close.
I was watching it all the way. He just got on the grass.
Left rear puncture, he's got a left rear puncture.
Oh, that must be why then. So maybe the same fate awaits Triton and Astro Boys.
Well, we're going to be there to see it, but Triton is absolutely nursing that car through the S's, and Icewind will not even have a fight. And that is a move done. So nursing required from Triton now. Icewind looks like he's going to gain so many positions off the same strategy mistake that he made last time, and this time the others made him. To be fair, I mean, Icewind was unlucky. Jensen was on 80% and his tyres didn't pop. But this week it looks like...
Except one. Is there another puncher? Huh? No. Okay. Never mind.
Will Triton and Astro Boys make the end? They're gonna anxiously look at the MFD, look at the tyres, and...
Danico as well.
Yeah, true. So Danico is running in a really good P2, but he's also lagging.
Yeah.
Yellows, Bascadinho. Oh, penalty for Triton. But his tyres are still intact. So that's that, but he's going to drop a lot. So will Wow, actually. I think Pretorius is bound to get a lot of positions here. A Fox might actually be in for a decently good finish, even though his gap to Wow is like relatively big. And he's got penalties himself. Oh, never mind, he's actually 18 seconds down on Jensen. I saw a long gap. There we go. First evolution with a penalty. Well,
yeah, Julian has won.
About him. Yeah, Julian has won, and he's picking up 25 or 26 points here. And actually, Danico's tyres will have lasted, and this is going to be P2, which is a good result. He was disconnected for like half the race, but this is still very good position for...
Piper with a brilliant P3, started P10.
Yeah, very nice race from him. He's made the right strategy calls throughout. Icewind in P4, and now looking at Wow's tyres, now they are going to be fine, but what about Triton? I think Triton's also making it. just like Astro. Yeah, Triton nurses his car home for P5 ahead of WoW, and now Astro Boys is gonna be.
These are gonna side by side across the line.
Oh, Pretorius jumps in P5.
Yeah. And Astro goes down to P8 on penalties.
Astro losing time, losing places to penalties. When have you seen that the last time?
Oh, Jensen. Nice.
Nice, Jensen. Nice.
Mm.
Good drive through, by the way. So Fox is gonna get a point on his debut here, I believe, unless there's a weird penalty situation going on. But I think the gap to Basket in here is well big enough, and Basket probably with penalties as well. He's in the stadium section.
Gary, what happened with Gary? Do you think he just went on to the tries too early?
Yeah, I think it's still too early. Like they are still terrible.
Astro's saying 92% rear tyres.
Goodbye, Gary.
Look at that. Look at that. Right next to Jensen.
Yeah, beautiful.
Maybe NJJ. What's NJJ doing? He's trying to go into the pit lane, but then he doesn't want to go into the pit lane, and then he's trying to.
Donuts, what are you doing? So the two Red Bulls were temporarily we thought they were on for podium, but then it didn't happen. And Popo actually got himself onto the podium.
I think driver of the day for Popo, starting P10 up to P3.
I think I agree, yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to say Julian because he was so dominant, but
yeah, I mean we had stand-up.
We see this every week.
Yeah,
so
I mean, other very good performance were Icewind and Pretorius, but I think Popo takes the cake in that one.
Yeah.
Also very good race from Danico. Triton was very competitive. I didn't think he was going to be that quick, but he really outpaced today, so nice from him. Unfortunate for WoW and Jensen, they were going to challenge as well. Gary and NJJ strategy threw them out of contention, so they must be fuming, but it doesn't help. So it's a win for Julian, and it is I think he takes, he got the fastest lap, so he takes 26 points, so he extends his championship lead to I think 30 points, and that is very bad for Copy if he still wants to win the championship.
Yeah, with only 3 rounds left as well, so I think it's going to be a tough ordeal to regain the lead. I'm going to have to leave now again, unfortunately.
See ya. You're eating dinner every time, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good one. So, we're gonna do some interviews. Jensen apologizing for scrubbing people's cars to everyone except Astro. He's not sorry for that, which, I mean, obviously. Or to quote Astro Boys, also no disconnects. Guys, listen to me. This is a win for us. This is a win. Unbelievable. Well, something that is really a win is finishing first, and the guy who did that is Mr. Julian. So we're gonna have our our weekly conversation with him as the race winner. I'm gonna drag him in and hope he's not mid-sentence. He is mid-sentence. Perfect. So, hello. I hope that was all confidential, and I hope you just called someone an asshole or something. Anyways.
So no. I was just telling Popo that I was surprised that some people didn't get into the 26s or even near it at the fastest laps. But
yeah, I mean, so, I mean, there's one big mystery. Where's the difficulty slider?
I don't know. Must have disappeared like Danny's internet. He was these things for me. Yeah, I don't know. He must have been enjoying Pornhub Live because his connection is just wank.
Oh. Well, how many years did you work for that joke?
Not long. Only 5 minutes after the race.
Oh.
I was already thinking of the joke on lap, I don't know, 31, 32. I was just waiting to make the joke on stream.
I can totally relate to that. Anyways, so as indicated by my poor difficulty slider joke, which I also totally prepared. No, that was a quite commanding performance. You just about pipped WoW to pole, but then in the race, it all seemed to go your way. Was there any point where you were doubting that this was going to be an easy win?
No.
That's exactly what I expected you to say.
I sound so arrogant right now, but I just don't know what to say because literally everything went perfect today, and yeah, when copy isn't there, it's even better for myself because I think the difference with fast step is now 31 points. 31 is my lucky number because I support Esteban Ocon, so I'm pretty confident I can win this championship now just because I'm 31 points ahead and I like him. So
yeah, Esteban Ocon sounds like a you problem, but anyways, what was I was gonna say something very intelligent. Trust me on that.
Wait, you and intelligent, that doesn't go together. But go on.
Hey, I still can't come up with anything. I can't come up with a comeback either. The tires. What were your tires like? Because you were like, I mean, you could actually.
Well, they're made of rubber and they were pretty shiny because they were wet. So.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so there's this menu in the game. It shows you the top down of your car, and then there's like some percentages. What were these percentages before you pit? I just want to know how urgent it was and why you felt like that was the right call. Because I mean, it could have happened that you pit and then the others don't have their tires pop, and that could have happened theoretically.
It could have, but it didn't.
But it didn't. No, I just want to know what were your tires at?
Okay, I gotta take this interview seriously. But the tires, the entire race were all right. I think for the second pit stop, with 8 laps to go, I think they were close to 60. Because I was pushing them quite a bit. But before the first pit stop, on lap 10 with the safety car or virtual safety car, whatever, I don't think they were even near the 50s yet. So the tires overall, the entire race were pretty well managed, and I was comfortable with what I was doing in the wear, the temperatures and everything. So yeah, it worked pretty well today.
That is unquestionably true. So looking into the future, what are you gonna do next game when when number 31 is not there anymore because Esteban Ocon is in the game? What are you gonna do?
Is someone using number 13?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, then I'm gonna use 13.
Well,
It's probably gonna be reverse luck then I'm gonna be last in the championship next season, but...
Nice. Another question you actually expected me to ask when I said looking into the future. So, USA, how do you like Kota? You've gotten into iRacing now, and it's a well-known fact that every person who plays iRacing hates Kota. So, are you one of them, or are you not?
Well, I've never driven Kota on iRacing yet. Maybe I should be thankful for that, but...
Yeah, you should. Track limits are horrible.
To be honest, I feel like USA is a better track for me than Mexico, but I think it's pretty hard to beat tonight's performance, so I don't know. Next week, I guess I'm just gonna be happy with the podium or top 5. I don't know. That's basically the goal I set for myself every race, and I usually finish easily on the podium. If not, I finish in 4th if my luck doesn't really go my way that day. So yeah, something similar like that would be nice.
So, well,
not the bad luck, but the podium.
Well, I imagine it's going to be a little bit calmer for you in the future races with that 31-point gap to Copy, and only 3 rounds to go, so Copy really has to work now, and I think like something has to actively go wrong for you to not win this in the end. But yeah,
it already has this season, to be fair, with the PC breaking for Belgium on my birthday.
Well, that's unlucky. Anyways,
Yeah,
So-
but about the points, the championship can still swing around because I was quite far ahead before Belgium, and
Yeah.
Copy had some pretty decent results after that. So
Imagine being really far ahead in the championship in SLR season 4 and then still losing the championship. That would be pretty embarrassing.
If I would lose it now, then I really need to look into what I'm doing wrong, especially at Kota, because I feel like Brazil and Abu Dhabi are two of, are definitely within my top 5 strongest tracks. So yeah, I don't know if I lose this, I'm just gonna
End it.
yeah, I'm just gonna hit my head to the wall and so long until I like get into hospital or something. I don't know.
That sounds like an amazing plan. Well,
Well, Copy, you know what to do if you want to win the championship.
win the championship. Anyways, thanks for the interview. I think we're gonna
No
move on,
problem.
to Popo. I'm gonna drag you in so they are warned. I'm gonna give Popo 3 seconds to end his sentence, and if he hasn't, then it's his fault. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello. So,
Hello.
I mean, that was quite good, wasn't it? How
Yes.
did it go? You qualified, I think, P10, and you ended up on the podium. Was it
yeah.
P10? I think it was P10.
P10, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there was a lot of funny strategy going on, and you were, I think, the one to execute it best. Maybe bar Julian, but you were still like coming through the midfield. How was it there?
Tough. Nah, not actually. I mean, I had the fresh tires. I just pitted under a virtual safety car because I knew that my tires were not going to the end.
So
But
you
yeah,
just,
some people-
suspected it early on and
Yeah.
thought, well, everyone else's tires are gonna pop. After how many laps did you, like, how much percent did you pit with? And how
I
old
think
were the
they were
tires?
like maybe 25-30%. I have no clue. I need to maybe look back at that. But yeah, I was pretty sure that I was gonna get a puncture.
So, yeah,
so
but
I
kind of
decided to
the
pit.
Early, the early instinct, and it proved to be completely right. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
And how was the fighting through the midfield? Of course, to the end of the race, everyone was kind of losing their grip, or were pitting, and you managed
Yeah.
to keep your head cool.
I mean, it was of course it was like a bit easy because I had a like 2 or 3 seconds advantage over many of them, but it's still fun to do some overtaking, and it was a little challenge, of course.
Like the knife through butter.
Yeah, but I was really lucky in this race because I think few people got drive-through penalties, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Popo. No, Popo. Yeah, Popo got a drive through. He's real dumb. I don't know how he does it. Anyways, Jensen and Wow got drive throughs for passing Light Cruiser who spun on the restart.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask Julian about that, if he, like, what his reaction was, but I guess he's gone now. So,
Yeah.
are you looking forward to the next races of the season? I think, like,
No.
because I think last season, didn't you get pole
Yeah.
in USA or close to it? I think you were really quick.
I got pole in USA, yeah.
Yeah.
Kota, yeah.
It was when I realized,
pole.
wait, Popo is not slow. Oh god. So,
But I mean, it was the pole was because many didn't get their lap in, many of the top guys, and yeah. But it was an achievement for sure to get a pole in SLR.
now you got a podium in SLR. So maybe.
Oh yeah, now I got a
maybe
podium.
you're gonna
Second.
Maybe you're going to be able to put it together in USA, get a good call
Yes.
and a good race. Maybe.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
We'll see. It's going to be
Yeah,
exciting.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, thanks for the interview, and
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
going to move you out. So Icewind will come in like 3 seconds. See ya. So. Hello, Mr. Icewind.
Hello.
Hello. So was it a little bit of a redemption driving past people who had their tires pop on the last laps because of rain and weird strategy calls? How did that feel? Not
Well, I mean,
not
I
having your
had
tires pop yourself.
also 75% were at the end there, so
How many?
I don't know.
How much?
75.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I had really high tire wear. I think because of the setup I was using, but
Well, it worked out to
Yeah.
plan. You got P4. I know I'm talking to you, but you must be at least somewhat happy with that.
No.
I
mean, if
I
you look at-
tried.
If you look at the quali, I lost 5/10 in sector 1, and then I was like about as quick as the rest of them and through the rest of the lap. But then I did that on the first run, and then I just proceeded to invalidate 3 times in a row. And yeah, I will never be happy with this kind of mediocre results. Yes, I got lucky at the end, but it's just luck once again. Like they had very high tire wear, I would guess, because I was going around people on the outside of turn 5, 6, 7. So
I think it is time for an ultimatum, because either you say that you were lucky today, but then you were also unlucky.
I was lucky today. I will. That's what I'll say.
Unlucky in Suzuka. You could also say that you
No.
were just skillful today and you made the mistake in Suzuka yourself. You have to decide.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. You can't just pick out the worst for both. It was a good try.
I just still think that I could have driven better in Suzuka with my tire wear, but
I mean, that's probably
that's done and dusted, and yeah.
But so could the others have today, and they didn't. So I guess.
Yeah, well, they were on like 20. I mean, they must have had like close to 100% wear,
Yeah,
unless my setup was really, really bad.
Astra had 92 on his race.
Because I had 70 at some point in the middle of the last lap. I checked and I had 73, so I would guesstimate that I had 75 when I crossed the line.
Yeah. But in the end,
no, it was really difficult race. Like I got a really mediocre start, and then I just basically got held up behind. I think it was Gary O.C., Triton, and Pretorius as well there, and I just it was really difficult to pass anybody at all until I dropped my front wing on my first pit stop, and after that I could actually.
All right, what happened there? There was like a collision with Triton, and Joe tried to describe it to me, but I didn't see it. So.
Yeah, but if I linked it in the chat, like my point of view, and I Triton hit something invisible, which apparently was Danny's desynced car for him. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, on my screen, it looks like he just hit something invisible and stops on track, and then Pretorius runs him, I run them, because there is basically no time to react there.
Yeah,
and
okay.
in the end, that was, as I said to Popo, that was sort of, I mean, he survived that, I think, but we had to pit there, but it was under the safety car delta, I think, so we gained quite a bit of time there with Pretorius, and then I, after the safety car restart, which was also very weird because I didn't even realize that it's actually coming in until I was on the main straight, and I was like, oh, we're racing again. and then I finally managed to clear like, I think there was like 3 cars battling really hard ahead, Max Blitz, Light Cruiser, and was it somebody else as well? Price, maybe?
Maybe. I think that might.
And I finally managed to overtake them, and that's where I knew that I have to make the gap now to Light Cruiser and Pretorius, because they will eventually get past as well, and I managed to do that, and I figured I'd drive home in P8 or whatever it was, but then those guys were really struggling the last, let's say 5 or 6 laps or whatever it was, and yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. At least not a complete disaster. Quali was really bad, but it is what it is.
Are you looking forward to USA?
Definitely not.
Okay.
It's really very. I mean, all the let's say the 3 upcoming tracks. Brazil is nice because that's not so much of a tire wear track, but USA and Abu Dhabi, those are very high tire wear tracks, and that's not going to be easy for me. But I don't know. Well,
so you're doing a Valtteri Bottas. You're not incredibly slow, but you killed your tires.
Yeah, I don't know why it's. I think today it was because of the setup I was using, but
that's good.
For USA, I don't know. I'll have to try and work on the setup and try to find a better one that I had last season. But yeah,
I believe
yeah, we'll see.
Season, but I don't know. Well, thanks for the interview, and good luck for the rest of the season, and especially also next week in Kota. Even
We'll
though
see.
Kota is like a little bit of a weird track on this game. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah,
tough with
it's
warnings.
completely different than when you drive it in iRacing, for example. I've just looked at the onboards and stuff. And in real life, let's say, but yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, in iRacing, the track limits are even worse than in F1, but at least they are consistently bad. So it's like a balance.
Yeah, I don't recall Kota being completely horrible for track limits for me, but I think the wet race today saved me a little bit on that front, because I was sure that I would kill myself in dry conditions with the track limits today. But they only one penalty today, so
I mean,
that's okay.
I think you got better on that though, didn't you? Because at the
Yeah,
start
and I
of
got
this
all my
season-
warnings from the same corner. I lost the rear under braking and just oversteered like across the apex and got a warning 3 times from the same corner, the entry to stadium.
Yeah, it happens. Well, but I think you got better on that front. Like last season, I remember that you like oftentimes would get really good results, but then drop like 3 or 4 positions. But I think this season it seems to be a little bit different. You are usually
A little better anyway. Yeah, I've had some races with a lot of penalties, but yeah.
Well, let's hope next time is not going to be one of them. So have a nice evening, and
Yep, likewise.
see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
So, to everyone still watching, thanks for watching, and I mean, there's tomorrow we have Tuaserol, of course, at Mexico as well. That's going to be pretty exciting, I imagine. I mean, it is a track that has a lot of action, usually with a long straight, and that works really well in the game with the DRS. Of course, it's a little artificial, but you still have some action and movement. It's not a full-on. It's not like everyone just spreads out and then just follows each other. They actually overtake each other. So, that's going to be exciting, I'm sure. So make sure to watch that. And on Monday we have ACC once again, commentated by Triton. And that's going to be cool as well. It's actually the first match point for the championship. I feel like I have to flex with that. But it's the Nürburgring, and Kirst has put in a lot of practice. So it's going to be interesting for sure to see who comes out on top there. And I think it will be worth a watch. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, and see you on the channel soon. Goodbye.